way to do it. Good afternoon, Arizona Rattlers fans. Welcome back into the Arizona Rattlers Coaches Show every week right here online, and we welcome you. My name is Floyd Simmons, and there's the subject matter at hand right there on your screen. Head coach Kevin Guy, the Arizona Rattlers. Coach Guy, welcome in.
How you doing, Floyd? Good to see you.
Doing well. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Coach, let's dive right into it. Coming off a nice victory for you and the team on the road at Albuquerque, taking on the Duke City Gladiators. And the Gladiators, with a lot to play for, a team that's on that playoff bubble, they're fighting for position, trying to maintain their opportunity at the postseason. So they gave you, I thought, all that you could deal with, but your team responded well. Final score 58-38, a victory on the road for the Arizona Rattlers. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. I thought we started a little shaky on defense. We came right out, got them in the fourth down. Penalties just kept that drive going. They eventually scored, and the first quarter was definitely back and forth, but we kind of took control of the game in the second quarter, and we got a lead going into halftime. Our defense throughout the game, we stopped them 5 out of 8 possessions. Offensively, we scored every time we had the ball except for one drive, and that was the start of the second half. And we drove down and missed the field goal there, but should have been in a position to score a touchdown. We certainly need to execute going in and coming out of halftime a little better. But Drew had a pretty good night. He was 7 of 10 with 3 drops. Receivers dropped 3 passes, or he would have been 100%. I thought he had a good night rushing. He had about 78 yards on the ground as well. We returned 2 interceptions back for touchdowns, and we ran a kickoff back for a touchdown. Probably the negative was that we allowed them late in the game. Again, it seems like every time we go over there, we score late and we give up a touchdown late in the game. And that's mindset, lack of effort, and that's something we're addressing this week.
No, Coach Guy, you opened your comments by talking about a slow start for your defense. And maybe that's the case, but I thought the balance of the first half after maybe the first possession or two for Duke City, the balance of that first half, your defense was outstanding. And it helped you to outscore the Gladiators 24-3 in the second quarter. I want to ask you about a particular individual on that defense. For my money, he was the player of the game. And it's a guy who has some collegiate roots in the same place you do, West Alabama. Let's talk about Chris Terrell for a moment. He is the guy that forced the fumble early on in the game that led to the first turnover by Duke City. Your team took over the ball and cashed that in for points. And then on the next, I believe it was the next possession, he deflected a pass into the hands of Kyrie Woods for an easy pick 6 touchdown for the Rattlers. I thought Chris Terrell set a great tone. He had at least one other quarterback sack on the day as well. What a game by Chris and that defense.
Yeah, he's been playing outstanding for us and been a great pickup for us for midseason. Came highly recommended by the head coach at University Alabama, Coach Gillian. So, he's been a great fit for us. He's creating a nightmare for his opponents and his matchup. 2 sacks on the night, caused the interception and caused the fumble. So, outstanding night. He's coachable. That's what I like about him. He's coachable. He does what Coach Jernigan asked him to do, and that's why the plays are coming his way. But defensively, again, we stopped them. They scored the first 2 times they had the ball, and I think they scored one other time the rest of the night. We stopped them 5 out of 8 possessions. So I was very pleased with our defense, but, we've got our work cut out for us going into this week, next couple of weeks, before we start the playoffs. So we just need to continue to show some consistency on that side of the ball.
Hey, Coach, there were a couple of moments in the game where, the intensity was pretty high. Game was delayed at one point because there was a lot of discussion going on with the officials. I don't even know exactly what was happening on the field during those times. But can you talk about the importance of this juncture of the campaign? You're going into the final stretch, 3 more games left on the schedule, battling for the number 1 seed in the Western Conference. Talk about the intensity, if you can, for a moment, the intensity level of battling game in, game out, and what it's leading to in terms of the internal chess game on each given night of a football game. I just thought the intensity level was ratcheted up on Saturday night.
Yeah, well, I want to go back to the referees. I would love to be able to help out, but there seems to be a lot of confusion on the rules of the game. That's something we're going to have to look at the end of the season and see if we can clear up some of those rules and clean them up where they are a little bit more easier to define. But yeah, we've kind of put ourselves in a situation where we got to win out if we're going to have home field advantage in the playoffs. So, we're taking this thing, coaches speak here, one game at a time, one day at a time, one practice at a time. So, it's about, trying to play our best ball as we head into the playoffs. But, it was our last road trip of the game. I thought our players handled adversity well. We, unfortunately, the bus company that we used, the bus broke down on the way over. We were sitting on the side of the road for 4 hours, and you know, and it just showed you how mentally tough the guys handled that situation extremely well, and how mentally tough we were as a team, and we didn't let it affect us, and we went out and I thought we played well. Is there things that we can get better at? Absolutely. And we're working hard to do that. We got to get better up front. If we're going to win a championship, we got to get better up front on the offensive line. We have to get our run game going. We have to get better fits. We got to cut out all these silly snaps. We're what's our record? 10-3, 13 games into the season now, and we're still having snap problems. So we may shake it up this week, make some changes, and see if we can't get a little bit more of a kickstart on our run game this week.
Well, it's a good win. It was a road victory for the Arizona Rattlers, everybody. 58-38, the final score. The Rattlers took down the Gladiators with that, vaunted passing attack. It's a team that can air the ball out nicely, and yet your team took advantage of its strengths in that defensive backfield. As you said, 2 pick-6 touchdowns for your defense. So the win on Saturday, now that sets up a couple of home games here left for you in Phoenix, and that begins this Saturday, downtown Phoenix at the Footprint Center, and a nice rematch ahead against the Tucson Sugar Skulls. Tucson, another one of those teams that's battling to maintain position for the playoffs, and a team with a lot to play for on Saturday. So you know that they're going to bring their level of intensity, and there's going to be a lot of emotion this coming Saturday at the Snake Pit. So, yeah. Coach, let's talk about this rematch with Tucson, a team that took a victory away from you at their place earlier on in the season.
Yeah, we didn't play well. That was our first loss of the season. We didn't match their intensity. They were more physical than us. They kicked offensively. Their offense kicked our defense butt all night long. Our offense put some points up. We were kind of in a track meet there, but they were more physical than us. So that's the bottom line. And we have to address that if we're going to beat them. DeQuan Neal's a great quarterback, can make all the throws. Mike Jones having a great year at the running back position. Their O-line, is physical up front, especially in the run game. And, defensively, they've gotten better as the season, went on. But no excuses this weekend. We got to come to play. And, that game just didn't sit well with me. There's a lot of things that happened. They took my coaching privileges away from me right after halftime. Obviously, it affected, the outcome of the game. And I thought that was unwarranted. I'm still a little hot about that. But, bottom line is we got to play better. And we just didn't play well that game. And, it's human nature. I think we were 6-0, 7-0 at the time. Thought we got a little comfortable. And just thought we were going to show up and win. And that's the human nature part of the game when players start looking at the standings and start thinking they're all that. And you're not. Everybody in this league gets paid to play, and they're going to come to play week in and week out. And there is no showing up. This league's got a lot of parity in it this year. Anybody can beat anybody on any given day. So, but I was very disappointed in how we competed in that game. I thought that, obviously me not being able to communicate with my players, affected the outcome of the game. That was a tough one to swallow. So, we've addressed it, and now, we're moving forward, but we're looking forward to this game. we should be one of the top 2 seeds, but if we win out, we'll be the number 1 seed. So, Tucson's in one of those positions where Naz has got the tiebreaker with them. They have the tiebreaker with us right now, but we have a better record. So, they should wind up in that 3rd spot no matter what. But we'll see how the season plays out.
Well, the first time you played Tucson, one of the key missing pieces for you was Trayvon Williams. Linebacker was not available that day. Give us an overall look at the relative health of the team right now.
Well, we're starting to get a little healthier. I don't know how healthy you are 13 weeks into a season. Everybody's got something going on, even me. I get tired of sitting there, my back gets sore from sitting in the seat watching film all the time. So, I think that Trayvon Williams will be on the field this week. I can guarantee you that mistake won't be made again. But when he's not in there, he's a leader on our defense, and he's a difference maker, and he will certainly be there on Saturday night, unless something unusual happens between now and then.
All right, Coach. Listen, we're going to cut this one short a little bit today. I know that you've got a lot of prep coming up in the week that remains. So I'm going to ask you in our Get to Know Coach Guys segment. It's very brief, okay? We want to find out where you stand in dealing with the elements outside in a place like Phoenix versus the South where you came from. So would you rather take, Coach, an afternoon of football practice outside when it's, let's say, 90 degrees in the deep South and high humidity, real high humidity? Or would you rather have 115 degrees outside in the dry heat of the Valley of the Sun? Which one are you going for there?
Well, anytime you get up over 100, it's hot. I don't care what they want to call it. It's hot. But I would take the practice in Arizona over Alabama. The humidity will zap you, and very difficult to recover from. So I've been in it. I played practically my whole career. Youth football, high school football, college football in that humidity. I've never played or practiced other than coaching in Arizona. But that just from being out there, I got to go with, I'll take Arizona over Alabama. For sure.
Take the dry heat. All right, Coach. Listen, good stuff. I know you got a big game, and we wish you the best in preparation, you and the team. Go get them on Saturday. Tucson coming to town, the big rivalry, the battle for I-10, and we look forward to it this weekend, Coach.
We appreciate it, Floyd. Thank you. We'll see you.
You got it. The Arizona Rattlers Coaches Show. Everybody join us again next week. Same thing. Don't forget, this Saturday evening, 6:05 kickoff time at the Footprint Center, the Snake Pit in downtown Phoenix, Arizona, taking on Tucson. You don't want to miss this one. Have an awesome afternoon, everybody. We'll see you next time.